Good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson here with you, an update to your forecast. It is Thursday, which means it's time for our weekly weather update. Getting you ready for the weekend, and it's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a damp weekend at times. We are going to have some rain chances in here and there. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. We're going to be talking about a little bit of chance for showers and storms they're going to have each day over the next few days. And then also we're going to be talking about these temperatures that have been so hot here more recently and whether or not that's going to continue. Now, first of all, I want to take us out towards the airport. This is where we have our time-lapse camera set up for today, and you're going to notice the possibility that there's a little bit of smoke out there. Maybe saying, whoa, what was all that dark smoke that we saw just beyond the airport? That's a fire training facility, so don't be too worried about that. But you see everything moving smoothly out there at the airport, seeing a lot of blue sky in some spots, but there's still some of those upper-level clouds just kind of hanging around, and that's helping to keep our temperature down by just a bit for today. Everything moving smoothly out there. Looking out towards Rome, we have a little bit more in the way of sunshine there towards downtown and a nice breeze going on. Beautiful out there in Floyd County for today. And then when you look off towards Blue Ridge, stunning view there out there towards the town green. I was up there with my wife just the other day. Beautiful day up there at Blue Ridge, and a great day to maybe do a little bit of hiking up there in the North Georgia mountains now that the rain started to move away. Waterfall hikes, I'm sure, are going to be stunning right now. And then looking out towards Athens, a beautiful shot as always out there towards them. We take a look at our temperatures that we've had over the last 30 days. You know, we had a huge stretch of 90-plus degree days for our afternoon highs there as we headed throughout the end of July and through August. That was a 16-day stretch of 90-plus degrees. One of those days we hit 98, which has been the hottest temperature that we've had so far this year. The last 2 days, though, we've only gotten into the 80s, and things have stayed a little bit cooler for today. I actually want to bring up temperatures before we talk more about the radar. It's 80 degrees right now in Atlanta. Not too bad. We are going to see these temperatures go up a little bit more, though. Don't think that we're going to stay this cool all day. Temperatures will rise a little bit more for this afternoon. But we also still have a little bit of shower activity out in spots that's just slowly fading away. You saw a little bit of the light shower activity that was still kind of closer on over towards the Alabama-Georgia border. It's fizzling out, and we're going to be left with a little bit of drier conditions as we move a little more into this afternoon, especially compared to what we had this morning. Taking a look at the 11 Alive app, you can see that we will still have a little bit of cloud cover here and there. Temperatures rising into the mid to upper 80s for this afternoon, and we are going to have, again, a little bit drier conditions than what we had earlier. Don't forget to download the 11 Alive app because you can make sure that you have a way to see the radar whenever you're on the go, and you can also watch the newscast right there from your phone. Also, make sure you download the Roku and Fire TV app. It can be great to have there right in front of you at home. You can get extra news information and also extra weather updates like the one you're watching right now. Looking at our chance for storms as we head throughout the rest of today and into Friday. Now, our chance for storms isn't going to be really as significant as what we had earlier. You see down towards Middle and South Georgia, they're going to have the better chance for maybe a few storms here as we head into the overnight time frame tonight and into tomorrow morning. But I don't think that we're going to really be dealing with it too much here in North Georgia. You see as we head into 9 a.m. on Friday, seeing a few storms here from Atlanta down towards LaGrange. We don't want any more storms in Troup County, right? We had plenty of storms as we've headed throughout this year, but we are going to have the possibility for more storms down your way for Friday morning. Moving to around noon, storms start to move to the south, and we will be a little bit more drier for the afternoon there on Friday. And then moving into Sunday, 70s to start off with, and we will move into the 80s to 90s for highs. Now, on Friday, we still have the chance for some storms too. Notice that there's a level 1 threat. That's going to be down to the southeast of the Atlanta area. So not as much of a concern for us, but still, again, we may have a strong storm or two to keep an eye on. Damaging wind would be the main threat. 40% chance for scattered showers and storms on Friday, a 20% chance on Saturday. Those rain chances stay fairly low as we head into Sunday and Monday, and then by Tuesday, finally going to start to see some drier conditions move back in. Your high temperatures over the next 5 days showing that we're going to be staying in the 90s for highs each afternoon. So while we're getting a break today, don't expect that to just continue. 92 there for Friday, 95 for Saturday, 94 for Sunday. The average high this time of year is 90, so we are going to be staying above that. Your rainfall over the next 7 days showing that we're going to get about a half of an inch of rain for most areas. maybe up to 3/4 of an inch of rain in some spots. So that should just continue to help us push away from these abnormally dry conditions that we currently have for some spots. Now, meteorologist Melissa Norton and I were looking at this a little bit earlier, and the drought monitor has updated to show some abnormally dry conditions continuing, but we have had a lot of rain in some of these spots, like up towards Floyd County. They've had a significant amount of rainfall here, but they just are still kind of stuck in that abnormally dry situation. We may see this update next week to show some more improvement. Now, we did have some good rainfall here over the last few days in Atlanta. Notice that on the 6th, we got more than an inch of rain. That actually ended up being the 5th wettest day of the year so far, 1.07. That was back on August 6th again, and we needed that rainfall, right? We have been a little bit behind in the Atlanta area, 28.63 inches so far this year. The normal year to date for the amount of rain is 31.68. So we have been behind, but we're catching up a little bit in Atlanta. Spots that aren't as behind, or really more ahead rather. Covington, barely ahead there on their rainfall. Athens is well ahead by nearly 10 inches of rain. And then we also are ahead when we look up towards Floyd County in Rome. 40.89 inches so far this year. The normal year to date, 31.65. So that lets you know they may have some abnormally dry conditions up there towards Floyd County in spots, but they're really not hurting up there at the county seat there up towards Rome. Looking at over the next 7 days here across the Atlantic, not looking like any chance for tropical development, but when we look out in the Pacific, Hurricane Dora is still out there. I think we've been talking about Dora now for more than a week. This storm's been kind of moving just south of Hawaii and is continuing to make its way off towards the north and west. This storm has missed Hawaii, so it's not going to bring them anything in the way of rainfall. If you've been watching the news, you've noticed that they've been dealing with a lot of fires out there on the Big Island, and it's looking like they're not going to get any help from the Dora to help put out any of those flames, unfortunately. Looking at the Atlantic again, going from the Pacific back to the Atlantic, we have our list of names. Of course, Dora is the fourth named storm in the Atlantic, or in the Pacific, excuse me. Eugene was also named out in the Pacific. They go by a different list of names out there. In the Atlantic, our next named storm would be Emily, but again, no chance for tropical development over this next week, it's looking like. And that's not coming as too much of a surprise because, again, we are an El Nino, and with us being in an El Nino pattern, it typically means there's a little bit more shear across parts of the Atlantic, and that will help to stop us having tropical development, despite the fact that the water is really hot out there. You know, water temperatures are really high at the moment out in the Atlantic and parts of the Gulf of Mexico especially. They've kind of got a big heat dome over the Gulf of Mexico too at the moment, and it's letting the water temperatures really go up, but with the fact that we have so much shear out there, it's stopping us from really seeing too much in the way of tropical development. Tropical timeline over the next few weeks here, we're going to start to see the peak of the season. On average, September 10th, late August, early September is when we typically have the peak of the season, and then the season ends November 30th. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated all the way throughout hurricane season right here at 11 Alive. 89 is the forecast high for today. 92, though, there again on Friday. That 50% for scattered showers and storms, that was mainly for this morning. So it's going to be, again, drier this afternoon. For Friday, that's going to be mainly in the morning again. We'll still have the chance for a few isolated showers in the afternoon on Friday, but mainly in the morning there on Friday. And then as we head into Saturday and Sunday, we'll have a 20 to 30% chance for rain with another slight chance for rain again on Monday, with temperatures rising into the 90s each afternoon. Over the next 8 to 14 days, looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook rather, so beyond the 7-day forecast, it's looking like we are going to have above average temperatures. So this trend of temperature sitting in the lower to mid 90s for highs, that's just going to continue as we head into the really middle to end of August. That heat dome, or the heat that we've been dealing with rather, is just going to continue to kind of stick around. And then as you look at the 8 to 14 day outlook for rainfall, it's looking like we're going to be just behind on rain for the middle to end of August there. Your weekend getaways, if you're planning any big trips, maybe down towards Destin, take that extra day off. We talked about this on Monday, that taking Friday off could be valuable for your trip if you're headed down to the Florida Panhandle. Friday's looking great. 92 degrees there, mostly sunny. Some scattered showers and storms on Saturday, and then you're looking at drier conditions there on Sunday and Monday. Gatlinburg, a little bit drier there on Saturday with some storms bookending your weekend there. Charleston, some drier conditions toward the weekend and into the end of the weekend, early next week. You get similar conditions out there towards Savannah, and then up towards Lake Lanier, we could still have a few showers and storms there on Saturday as well. Your Peach State outlook, it's looking like we are going to be dealing with a little bit of shower and storm activity for tomorrow, just like what we're dealing with here in Atlanta. And then it's going to be a little bit drier for parts of the state there for Saturday and Sunday. And then finally, your Georgia State Park forecast. If you're planning any big hikes for tomorrow, know that rain is going to be possible in the afternoon in some spots. You want to make sure that you're staying safe out there on the trail with the heat and the rain. Download that 11 Alive app. You'll know where the shower activity is. And then also make sure you're drinking plenty of water if you're going to be out there. So let's take a quick look at the forecast for today across the state. You know, it is looking like we're going to be having temperatures in the 80s for highs there for far north Georgia up into the mountains. Northeast of us, you see those temperatures rising into the 80s. Again, we had that chance for showers and storms around the Atlanta area for today. And then you see down there towards the coastal plains, temperature still hot, 97 in Waycross, 96 in Brunswick. Going to be a hot day for them. So I'm going to bring everything back up to the radar real quick. I want to show y'all how the shower activity is still kind of fading out just across the region. We are going to be drier this afternoon. Still seeing some of those showers and storms that we had to deal with earlier on today, pushing well down to the south and east, down towards the coast. And it's nice to know that we are going to be a little bit drier here. Let's take a quick look at rain totals that we had over the last 24 hours. You notice that some spots, especially into far north Georgia, they picked up a significant amount of rain. Up there towards Gilmer County, 1.5 inches of rainfall. We look into southern Floyd County. That's a spot, remember, that they've been dealing with some abnormally dry conditions, according to the drought monitor. Well, they got nearly 2 inches of rainfall over there. Some other spots that have been needing rain is kind of along the I-20 corridor, getting closer on over to the state line. They picked up more than 2 inches of rain, it's looking like. That's what radar is picking up on. And then in North Fulton County, nearly 1 inch of rain down towards the Atlanta area, looking closer on like 1/2 inch. So good to see that. We could use the rainfall. It's always better to be in a little bit of a surplus, not too much of one, but in a little bit of a surplus than to be in drought conditions. Here's your 7-day forecast again. Don't forget that we do these updates every Monday and Thursday. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated all throughout the week with Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb, Chief Meteorologist Chesley McNeil in the morning, and then also Meteorologist Melissa Nord, and then Nicole Hartford, and myself, all throughout the timeline each day and then on the weekends. So have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. We'll keep you updated on everything right here at 11 Alive.